Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As we're here to talk everything that took place tonight at NXT Takeover Phoenix. The show was pretty good, had a lot of good matches on it, and in my opinion, I'm probably not gonna have the popular opinion here, but I've seen better takeovers for the overall. Like there was that North American title match was great. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. Was great. But I do feel that, the NXT title match between Black and Ciampa could have been a little better. I thought it was good, not great. Now, you know what? I'm going to wait till the end to talk about that. Okay, never mind. Okay, so on the pre-show, we did learn of the NXT Awards for 2018. We learned that Takeover of the Year was NXT Takeover New Orleans. Future Star of the Year was Io Shirai. NXT Tag Team of the Year was the Undisputed Era. Match of the Year was Andrade versus Johnny Gargano with the NXT Championship on the line from NXT Takeover Philadelphia. Breakout Star of the Year was Ricochet. Male Competitor of the Year was Tommaso Ciampa. Female Competitor of the Year was Kairi Sane. Rivalry of the Year was Gargano versus Ciampa. And Overall Competitor of the Year was Kairi Sane. And I gotta ask, who here thinks Kairi Sane had a better 2018 than Tommaso Ciampa? Let me know in the chat. Let me know, out of all of you guys in the chat, Ronald Chowdhury, Warned JVF 714, Lola Cruz, Luke Might, Kristen McNutt, Jawan Flight, Bird Gotti, Broken Dreams, Trevor Gonzalez. Did you guys all think, and everybody else in the chat as well, did you guys all think that Kairi Sane had a better 2018 than Tommaso Ciampa? I didn't at all. Alicia Fox in the chat says, not me. No. I think that one was just a little... nobody would have thought that. More people in the chat agreeing with me. Becky Lynch's boyfriend says, not me. David Kitterell says no. Logan Hitton says no. Music Man says it was a great show. Jay Light says no. King Leon says what's good. Broken Dream says no. Nope. Jimmy Graciano says, OMG, I missed you, Nick. I'm not Nick. Nick will be on tomorrow. Nick was going to be with me tonight, but he was traveling from his vacation. He just got home. So, yeah, he was a little jet lagged, and he wasn't going to make it. So, it's all good. It's all good. We'll have Nick tomorrow to talk everything that takes place at Royal Rumble. So, with that, the show kicked off with the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. And this was a very cool entrance we got from the War Raiders. War Raiders came out with a medieval Viking-style, Viking-style entrance. And this hasn't been confirmed to me, but I think one of the Vikings was Sarah Logan. There's a photo going around. Let me see if I can pull that photo up here while we're live. There's a photo going around of all the Vikings backstage. And I swear, there is one that looks like it's Sarah Logan. Let me see if I can find that before we go forward. Sarah Logan, Viking. I think this might be it. Yes. Okay, so let me see if I can get this up on the screen for you guys. All right, so I think I'll zoom in a little bit. Here's all the Vikings, right? This one, I believe, is Sarah Logan. I mean, look at it. It's got the right hair. I think they zoom in on it. Yeah, see? I believe that one could be Sarah Logan. I think Sarah Logan. Ooh, I zoomed in too much. I think Sarah Logan could have been one of the Vikings for the whole War Raiders Viking entrance at TakeOver. I think that's pretty cool if that is the case. I do believe that it's her. So with that, they got their cool entrance. And when they did that cool entrance, I was like, ooh, I don't know if they're going to win. A lot of times when you look at NXT, the person that gets the cool entrance usually doesn't win. So that's why I was like, uh-oh. They're not gonna win the titles, so they gave him a cool entrance instead. I was wrong. So War Raiders ran wild early in this match, with the highlight being Rowe body slamming Hanson on the ring apron onto Strong and O'Reilly on the floor. Or off of the ring apron, my bad. Rowe picked up O'Reilly in a gut wrench and powerbombed him into Strong. Hanson went for a suicide dive, but Strong and O'Reilly moved out of the way, sending him crashing to the floor below. That led to the champs getting the heat on Rowe, since he had no one to tag in. When Hanson finally got onto the apron, Strong and O'Reilly used an old-school tag team heel trick to prevent the tag. O'Reilly and Rowe stood mid-ring and exchanged kicks, which Hanson eventually got the best of with a knee strike, which allowed Rowe the chance to make the hot tag. Hanson got the crowd jumping while he did a cartwheel to avoid a strike by O'Reilly. This was cool. O'Reilly came at him with just a flying strike. I think it was a knee, and he just cartwheels right out of the way. And I was like, whoop, big man with cartwheel. Big man with cartwheel. Loved it. Hanson got, a misdirection spot. Saw O'Reilly give a running corner kick to Strong by accident. A four-way ball then broke out, with War Raiders getting the best of it, laying O'Reilly out with a pop-up power bomb or power slam, and Strong got knocked to the outside. Hanson later kicked out of a combination superplex top rope knee drop, which everyone bought as the possible finish. Hanson also kicked out of a high-low, becoming the first person to do so on the main or in NXT. The finish finally came when the War Raiders... Where was I? The finish finally came when the War Raiders hit their finishing move, that backbreaker leg drop off the top rope onto the Undisputed Era. 1, 2, 3, new NXT Tag Team Champions. And now, because they lost the titles, everyone thinks, oh my God, the Undisputed Era coming to the main roster. I don't think that's the case. I don't think Undisputed Era is coming to the main roster just yet. We saw the NXT champion, the NXT UK Women's Champion and the WWE United Kingdom Champion, Pete Dunne and Tony Storm, at ringside. They were laughing at each other, basically. Well, Tony was laughing and Pete Dunne was just trying to keep it all, composed. We then got Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. I mean, it was longer than the last match. I thought this match was okay. It wasn't great. It was good. Sorry about that, but it wasn't great. Riddle exploded at the bell here, with Ohno running around and trying to avoid him, but Riddle followed and continued beating on him. Riddle went for a sunset flip power bomb to the outside, but Ohno blocked it. He covered his face with the ring apron and stomped down on it. Ohno accidentally hit Riddle with a back elbow at one point and almost won. Riddle briefly fired back when Ohno yelled that he was a bum. He called Matt Riddle a bum. But he didn't. That didn't last long. Ohno sent Riddle crashing into the ring post and the steps, harkening back to an angle they did on NXT back in December. Riddle went for a German suplex, but Ohno was too heavy for him, and Ohno stomped on his foot. Riddle summoned the powers that be and hit a great delayed German suplex finally off a second attempt. Ohno blocked a kick and began biting Riddle's toes. Yes, he put this man's bare feet in his mouth. What was he thinking? Hopefully Matt Riddle washed his feet today, because Ohno, this then led to Riddle kicking out of a Ohno moonsault, where basically Ohno missed 99% of that moonsault and barely hit him with his head. Got him in the bro mission. They rolled around the rings until Ohno got to the ropes. Ohno asked Riddle for a fist bump. I'm like, really? You're going to do the same thing? So Ohno is standing in the ring, and Riddle's kind of like down on one knee. And then he just puts his arm out for the fist bump. And I'm like, wait, what do you think this is? TLC? We saw this with Ambrose and Rollins. When he's like, when Ambrose was like, let's do the Shield fist bump thing. No, it didn't work then. It didn't work now. It was done both times. And Riddle wasn't having any of it. Riddle didn't fall for it at all. Finally, Riddle would hit a huge knee to the face and just start beating the crap out of a downed opponent, of a downed Ono, until Ono finally tapped out to strikes. I don't remember the last time in WWE we've seen somebody tap to strikes. So that was a good match. I wouldn't call it great or anything, but I thought that match was pretty good. Very solid, all things considered. I keep seeing you guys talking about the Sam Roberts, Bianca Belair thing. I kind of heard about it. I didn't see the pre-show, so I don't know exactly what was said by Sam Roberts. I mean, from the gist of what I saw on Twitter, he was kind of like, well, I mean, the only thing I got from what I saw on Twitter was he said like Bianca who or something. I don't even know. Like I said, I didn't see the pre-show, so I don't know what all the hullabaloo is with Sam Roberts and Bianca Belair, to be honest. Before we move on, I want to give a big shout out to Bellator heavyweight Ryan Bader, who just defeated Fedor Emelianenko to become the brand new Bellator heavyweight champion. He is now the Bellator heavyweight and light heavyweight champion, first double champion in all of Bellator history. Anyways, going forward with NXT, I just want to say that because Ryan Darth Bader's always been one of my favorite fighters. Anyways, we got a great match. This was a great match. It was Ricochet versus Johnny Gargano with the NXT North American Championship on the line. And oh boy, was this match pretty fucking amazing. Yep, I said it. This was a must-see match if I ever seen one. Match went a little over 20 minutes long. An impressive series of moves and reversals and counters to open the match. This led to a standoff and chance of NXT. Now, the one thing I did not like, let me go back for a second before this impressive series of moves and reversals. Match doesn't even start. The bell's about to ring, and the crowd's already going, both these guys, both these guys, both these guys, both these guys. Shut the hell up with the both these guys chant. I can't stand the both these guys chant. Chant for one. At least do dueling chants or something. Both these guys chants is so stupid. The match didn't even start. The two guys just walked down to the ring and they started chanting both these guys. Like, really? Anyways, like I said, the match started with an impressive series of moves, reversals, counters, and then it led to a standoff and the crowd started chanting NXT, NXT, NXT. Ricochet asked Gargano which Johnny we were going to get, so Gargano used a cheap shot. I like Gargano's the invincible the invincible Iron Man inspired gear here. They fought to the outside where Ricochet stepped from the apron to the middle ropes and hit a moonsault to the floor in one quick fluid motion. In the ring, Ricochet went for a top rope Hurricane Rana, but he played to the ground and Gargano was able to slip out and drop Ricochet off the top rope. Gargano used a laying down abdominal stretch and a chop to the throat, which looked pretty nasty. Ricochet then sidestepped a slingshot spear and used a moonsault of his own, a standing moonsault, to a kneeling Johnny Gargano. So it's like, okay, you didn't get everything you wanted here because he was kind of kneeling, so it's not the same impact if he was down on his belly. Minutes later, Gargano went for a slingshot suplex, but Ricochet caught him and threw him out of the ring. Gargano crashed hard, rib first into the apron of the ring, and he should have broke a rib. It was so loud, the thud. He like think of this. Okay, so Ricochet has Gargano kind of like Gargano has Ricochet kind of like in a guillotine. Ricochet lifts Gargano up over his head and throws him over the top rope. So Johnny comes down as fast as his body can fly in a downward motion, just bounces like that off the ring apron, flips his whole body 180 the other way, and he's perfectly fine. The amount of force he had when he hit that ring apron with his abdominal area right in the ribs, I swear to God, I thought he had a broken rib. Ricochet then got Gargano back into the ring. Ricochet broke out of a Fosbury flop outside, and then a second moonsault inside the ring for a near fall. Gargano went for his own top rope hurricanrana, but Ricochet landed on his feet. Gargano hit a super kick, but Ricochet hit a Pele kick and went for a handspring move. As he went for the handspring move, Gargano ducked it and locked in the Gargano escape. Great transition here. These two guys had amazing transitions into moves like we haven't seen in a very, very long time. Like, everything they did for the most part was just so fluid. These guys just worked great together. Ricochet would get out of the Gargano escape. Ricochet stood up and threw Gargano over his head, crashing into the turnbuckle. Ricochet went for a 630, but Gargano rolled to the other side of the ring, finally getting out of the ring. So Ricochet jumped off the top rope. Well, not jumped off, but climbed down. Ricochet noticed that. Gargano got his knees up off of a shooting star press. No, wait, I missed the spot. An even better spot. So Ricochet goes to the top rope, and he's going to hit the 630. Johnny sees him on the top rope and rolls all the way to the other side of the ring and out of the ring. So Ricochet climbs down off the top rope. And what is this? What does this man do? He literally runs from one side of the ring to the other in a diagonal motion from one turnbuckle to the cross turnbuckle. And he just runs, and then he grabs the top rope, launching himself up over the turnbuckle, over and out of the ring. What? Like, these men, I haven't seen stuff like this in a very long time. That was just amazing. Like, if you guys did not see this match or didn't pay attention to this match, you need to go back and watch it, because there's the little things in this match were just great. So they got back into the ring. Ricochet went back to the top rope yet again, was going to go for a shooting star press. Gargano got his knees up and then used the motion of Ricochet bouncing off of his knees to lock him into an inside cradle, but only got a 2 count. Ricochet then caught Gargano on a suicide dive, but Gargano turned that into a reverse hurricanrana on the outside. He immediately hit a slingshot DDT in the ring for the nearest of near falls. Gargano nearly snapped and went for a draping DDT onto the exposed concrete floor, but had a change of heart, which the fans ended up booing. He then immediately got back into like the mindset of heel Johnny Gargano. Ricochet locked on his own version of the Gargano escape, and the crowd went nuts. Gargano did eventually make it to the ropes. They ended up on the apron, and Gargano shoved Ricochet into the ring post, which led to the finish. He shoves Ricochet into the ring post. Ricochet falls back into the ring. Gargano then does his slingshot over the top rope from the apron DDT, just plants Ricochet right on the top of his head, pulls him into the ring a little farther away from the ropes, pins him 1, 2, 3, Johnny Gargano. Johnny Takeover. As it said on his trunks, the Johnny Takeover, new NXT North American Champion. Like I said, this was a 5 out of 5 match, if I've ever seen one. Just a great match. I did see some people state that there was too much choreographed, high-flying kind of stuff. So, I can see that. There was a little bit of that whole, oh, well, there was too many high-flying moves. They needed to keep it grounded a little more, give more more technique. But in the end, I thought this was just a hell of a match. And then the women had to follow. Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair with the NXT Women's Championship on the line. And the crowd was as high as they were going to be after that Ricochet Gargano match. And they just didn't have much left, unfortunately, for these women. So there was a super creative spot early on as they fought on the outside. Baszler threw Belair around the ring post, but kept hold of her long braid and yanked her into the post. So she whipped her, grabbed the hair, pulled the hair back, which pulled her back into the ring post. Belair crowded the ring. My notes are kind of... Hold on. There we go. So Belair was yelling that she was undefeated, and then she started to fire back. Baszler stopped that fire and stomped down on Belair's elbow in a similar fashion that she did to Dakota Kai last year. Baszler used a series of arm bars until Belair started her comeback with a huge slap to the face, harkening back to a couple of weeks ago on NXT when she slapped Shayna Baszler across the face. Excuse me. Baszler used a series of arm bars again. Belair then got a good response from the crowd when she finally fired back once again. There's a lot of just firing back from Belair, and then Shayna would just beat her down, and then finally Belair would get the comeback, and then she'd get beat down and beat down. A little too much of that, I felt. But then finally, Shayna went for a bunch of punches, missed a couple of them, and was whipped with the hair. Now, hear me out here. Why isn't this damn hair a disqualification when she whips someone with it? Isn't it? I mean, I know what your guys are going to say. What you guys are going to say. Well, it's a part of her. It's not like someone gets DQ'd when they clothesline someone with their arm. Their hair is a part of her. Yeah, I get that argument that people like to try and say. But I don't think this hair whip thing should even be a thing. I get it. It's her gimmick. They've got shirts where her face is on the shirt and then the hair, big old long braid hair comes off the shirt. I don't know. I don't like it at all. Eventually, Shayna, where was I? She hit him with the whip to the hair, but then Shayna actually got knocked into the referee. No, Belair got knocked into the referee by Baszler. This then knocked Belair down. Baszler put her in the rear naked choke. And Belair wouldn't tap out, but she would pass out. So they called it a KO. I didn't like the match. Like I said, I thought it was too much of Baszler would beat her down, and then she'd hit a comeback really quick, and then get beat down again. Then she'd hit a comeback really quick, and then beat her down again. I didn't like that. And I think it was because Belair still needs to grow. She's still a little green. For everybody that tries to go out and say, oh, she's ready for the main roster. No. She's not ready for the main roster. And even Shayna's had great opponents in the past that can almost, I don't want to say Shayna needs to be carried, but if need be, can carry Shayna, Ember Moon, Kairi Sane. So I'm just saying, with Belair also being so inexperienced, I think it just led to an okay match. And then the other thing that did hurt this was that the crowd really wasn't into it at all. Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke did run in at one point, and Belair got the best of them. But I don't know. I didn't like the match, to be honest. I thought it was just a little kind of repetitive kind of stuff. Like I said, Shayna would beat her down. Belair would fire back up with a comeback. And then she'd beat her down again. And then she'd fire back and I'm just beating a dead horse. I forgot to mention, this is important. So earlier in the night, we saw a SUV show up, 2 women walk out, and then the Velveteen Dream would walk out. This then led to Nigel McGuinness stating that Velveteen Dream is a very busy man on this weekend of the Royal Rumble. Yet, Velveteen Dream didn't do anything at TakeOver, so his name has been coming up for TakeOver or for Rumble surprises. After this women's match, before the NXT Championship match would take place, we did see Velveteen Dream sitting ringside with them 2 lovely ladies. This didn't lead to anything during the match, but it sure led to something after the match. So, we got Tommaso Ciampa defending the NXT Championship against Aleister Black, and I thought this was a good match, but I wouldn't call it great. I've seen better from both men. Most intense collar and elbow tie-up I've ever seen started off this match. Ciampa played dirty early using a standing armbar and standed on Black's hair while doing so. Ciampa sat on the mat while Black went for a roundhouse kick, so Black sat down across from him as well, but then Ciampa booted him right in the face. The match was all about Ciampa working on the knee of Black. Outside of the ring, Ciampa sent Black knee first into the ring steps and then used a suplex on the steps as well. Ciampa tied Black's leg up in the ropes and did a running knee to the leg. Black used a running kick to Ciampa, which caused both of them to topple over the top rope to the floor. Both men blocked and ducked multiple striking attempts and finisher attempts from one another. Black used a bridging German suplex, but only drove it down with one leg, so he didn't really get most of the oomph that he could have got. Both men used single-legged crabs with little success in this match. Ciampa broke up a moonsault attempt and hit a Tower of London off the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring. Black did a great job selling his knee, including running the ropes, but hopping on one leg. He did finally hit his corner moonsault, but slipped on some water outside of the ring in front of the announce desk. I don't know where that water came from at all. Ciampa hit a fairy tale ending, his version of the Angel's Wings, for a 2 count. Ciampa pulled up the black mats outside of the ring, just like Johnny Gargano did earlier. Referee was trying to stop him, saying, hey, don't do this, put this back. And Ciampa almost shoved the referee, but as he was going to shove him, the ref backed up, so he didn't really put his hands on him. I mean, if he would have shoved him and got DQ'd, he would have kept his title anyways. Black then came off the top rope with off the apron, my bad. Ran off the apron with a smooth running knee strike to the floor. Ciampa's head bounced kind of off the concrete and kind of off the mats, like right there in that transition corner area. Black then kicked out of a second fairy tale ending back into the ring, which was followed by Ciampa pulling the referee in front of him when he was about to get hit with the black mass. Finish of this match did come with Gargano finally hitting that fairy tale ending, pinning Aleister Black and retaining the NXT Championship. So, I liked the match. I thought it was good, not great. After the match, with Black still laying in the ring, Ciampa walked up to the top of the ramp, and he was posing with his championship before Johnny Gargano would come out with his newly won North American Championship. The two would stare at each other for a couple minutes before just posing with their belts. I'm like, well, what is this all about? There's no reason for this to happen. And then the show just goes black. Nothing else on screen. The Page Chronicle documentary starts. And then we learn that there was more that took place in front of the live crowd than we knew on television. So as the two were up at the top of the ramp, we did learn that, let me pull up the notes here from this so I get it right. We did learn that Velveteen Dream would come and join them at the top of the ramp. We then learned that Adam Cole would then come out. They all kind of started to brawl a little, kind of more yelling at each other, until Ricochet and Aleister Black would also meet them at the top of the ramp, and all just began to brawl. They brawled on the ramp, they brawled to the back into gorilla position, and Triple H eventually had to get involved and break everything up. Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream would then come back out after the brawl took place, posed on the ramp, and posed in the ring, and then back up on the ramp for over 10 minutes. With some now thinking that, could these three men have been posing that long in front of the live crowd because they're done with NXT? Because that is their swan song, their curtain call, some may call it? I don't know. Could have been. I know there is a picture of, for Dream it could be for sure, because there is a picture of Dream standing in the ring, and his arms are being raised. Ricochet's on one side, Black's on the other, and they're both pointing at Velveteen Dream. So maybe this was a swan song thing for Velveteen Dream. Maybe it's an homage of, that's probably not the right word, but maybe he's coming up. I know his name's been talked about for the Royal Rumble tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with those three guys, whether they're done in NXT and they get called up here shortly, whether they're in the Rumble tomorrow, or whether it was just something they did for the live crowd to make the live crowd happy. We do not know, but What we do know is that we have a place where you guys can get early content and exclusive content from us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Head over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited and sign up and support us over there for as low as $1. And every week, you will get PW List This 3 days early before it comes out here on YouTube. You will get our NXT, NXT UK, and 205 live reviews. You will get Nicholas's Life Before WWE columns and many more on our Patreon. Again, head over to pwunlimited. No, wrong website. Head over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited to support us and get extra content that you may or may not be getting here on YouTube from us. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Let's take some calls. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. What'd you think of Takeover?
I thought it was okay. How about you?
I thought it was a good show. I wouldn't say great because there was some matches that I thought were okay or just good.
Yeah, if Gargano and Ricochet didn't have a good showing, then I did.
Wait. You didn't like the match?
No, I'm saying if they were not to have a good match, I wouldn't have liked the show. But they kind of made it for me.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
I agree.
Yeah, so my question's kind of a question regarding like 3 months from now and the next Takeover. Since I'm going to that show, I was wondering if you had a couple matches in mind that you think are likely to take place.
You know, I did this morning, but then coming out of this show, I kind of not anymore. I was thinking
right.
Gargano doesn't win that title tonight and then eventually challenges Ciampa.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe they do champion versus champion, but then wouldn't that kind of make the North American title not mean anything if they were to do something like that, though?
Yeah, I don't understand where they're going with this. I mean, I was thinking a tag team, but then what are they going to do? Put 3 titles on these men? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's really confusing. I don't know.
To be honest, thinking of, you know, where we can go next with, you know, the next Takeover, they teased this week on NXT that Velveteen Dream wanted the North American title. Then Adam Cole came out with Bobby Fish and saying that one of them wanted the North American title. So I assumed, you know, Ricochet retains and then either Velveteen Dream or one of the guys from Undisputed Era challenges him. Because everything leading up to this Takeover that I saw on NXT television led me to believe that Ricochet was going to retain and then, boom, new challenger, since they were kind of building up new challengers. Now, I don't know if Ricochet is going to get an automatic rematch against Gargano for the title, or if they're just going to move forward with a new challenger. That's the big question, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did this, to be honest. I don't know. And I really like them as individual wrestlers. I like them as a tag team as well, but I don't want like all of the, you know, the really good NXT wrestlers to be in a tag team match. That's just, I kind of like everybody separated, and especially I care a lot because I'm going, so I don't know.
Right. Makes complete sense.
Right. I just kind of want the roster, you know, separated and a ton of good matches. Also, there was a podcast today with I can never say that name. You know, What Culture's YouTube channel, how they departed from each other.
Cultaholic?
Yeah, I can not say it at all. Ross basically came up with this idea that Finn would lose to Lesnar as, you know, regular Finn Balor, but then later in the night he would come out as the Demon and win the Rumble. What do you think about that?
I think that's a little too much fantasy booking, to be honest.
Right. Yeah,
I don't really see that happening. Especially if the rumors of Becky losing and entering the Women's Rumble, you can't do that for both Rumbles. You just can't. It would just be too overdone and an oversaturation of the same kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. So who are you thinking? Just Seth,
for the men's?
Seth winning flat?
Oh, yeah, I think Seth's winning for sure. But, I mean, I've said it since November, I've said Seth wins the Rumble.
Hopefully.
But I want to say
Yeah,
thank you
I'm
for the
rooting
call
for.
and have a great night.
All right, perfect. Have a good day.
All right, if anybody else would like to call in and give their thoughts on tonight's NXT TakeOver, you can give us a call at 559-475-8473, 559-475-8473. Let's take another call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey Cam. Tonight was okay to me. It's like it's same takeover that I've been seeing every time.
Mm-hmm.
And who do you think will be the best opponent for Shane Baszler and the T Women's Champion?
I think the next opponent for Shayna Baszler needs to be either, I mean, they're kind of building them up as a tag team, but I would think either Io Shirai or Kairi Sane again.
And I hear, and also I hear somebody say that they mentioned the Undertaker be a surprising interest to the Royal Rumble. Is it true?
I haven't heard anything on that. I know he was in a quote-unquote Royal Rumble commercial, but that doesn't mean anything.
And who do you think will be the surprising interest tomorrow for the women?
I haven't heard anything at all as far as women's surprises. As far as the men's go, I know there's one real big one they're trying to work on. I don't know if it's set or not. And they're also thinking of Velveteen Dream and Kurt Angle as being surprises as well tomorrow. But with that, I want to say thank you for the call and have a great night.
Thanks.
All right, let's take another one here. Hear from you guys. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hi, what's up, man?
How's it going?
So I was just wondering, what were your thoughts on? I mean, I just saw like NXT because I kind of got home late and I had to like rewatch it a little bit.
Right.
And holy shit, that Gargano match was Ricochet was fucking amazing. And
Spot on, great.
I was wondering, do you think that's like ready to be a 5-star match?
I mean, I would rate it 5. If you're asking if Dave Meltzer would rate it 5, I don't know. Maybe he'll give it.
Yeah, like that was kind of my sorry to interrupt, but that was like kind of my question because
right.
Like to me this is totally a 5-star match. Like it's unbelievable. But like I was kind of wondering, what would you think on like do you think Dave Meltzer would give it a 5-star rating?
There's a good chance, but he gave Almas or Andrade versus Gargano 5 stars, and I thought that match was better than this match. So if you put it on that level, then it's almost like it could still get 5, might get 4 3/4. We'll have to see. Fortunately, Dave's got a busted arm and hand, so he may not even be able to write the Observer this week. So.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like a 4 1/4 star match, you know, like something like that. But,
yeah, I think he'll give it 4.5, 4 3/4 probably, but who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but that match was fucking unbelievable.
Great match.
Best match I ever saw, in my opinion. Like in WWE or NXT. Like to me, that's easily my favorite match.
Like I said, I liked Gargano versus Almas better, but hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Oh yeah, true. But like, here's the thing: I haven't really seen that match. I didn't see that takeover, so
Gotcha.
Now I'm like, damn it, I gotta go see that match.
Right. But I want to say thank you for the call and have a great night.
You too.
All right. With that, let's take another call. And nope, call dropped off. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see. A J Light says CM Punk and AJ are spotted in feet. No. Okay. I'm gonna shut this big old rumor down right now. There's a photo floating around social media that's quote unquote CM Punk in Phoenix, Arizona. But if you look very closely to that photo, there is both rain and snow on the floor. This is a very old photo of CM Punk in Chicago. not Philadelphia or not Phoenix, where it don't rain and hardly ever, or it don't snow and hardly ever rains. So if you guys are seeing this photo that they say it's Punk at the airport, he's in Phoenix, it's fake. Well, it's not a fake photo. It's just an old photo. He's not in Phoenix. Him and AJ are not going to be surprised. I would probably bet money that he and AJ are not in the Rumbles tomorrow. I'm just saying right now. So everyone that keeps trying to state, oh well, he's going to be there. He's the big surprise. Nah, I wouldn't get my hopes up at all. Noel Perfect says it would be cool if Becky won the men's Rumble. That would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny if Truth messes everything up by trying to come out number 30 in the women's Rumble. And so he's just like, they're like, Truth, get out of here. So the number 30 spot's open. Because I can see something where Truth gets confused, Carmella's music hits, and he goes out for the women's Rumble. I can see something like that. Something wacky like that. And so then he does that, and they're like, you messed up. Leave, you got the rest of the night off. So here's the only thing. If the women's Rumble is before the men's Rumble, and then, see, a lot of this is hard to kind of predict because we don't know the positioning of the card tomorrow. What match is going to go first, which match is going to go before what match is going to go after what match, so I don't know. Again, people keep asking about the whole Sam Roberts, Bianca Belair thing. I did not see the pre-show. Kyle Banks says, is Bray Wyatt returning tomorrow? I've heard rumors and good indications that it's very possible, but nothing's 100% locked in yet. Let's take another call. Call, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, I want to know, what was your match of the night?
Oh, Gargano versus not Ciampa. Gargano versus Ricochet for sure.
Okay. And also, who do you think is going to get called up to the Rumble? Is it going to be Dream? Because it seemed like
that is the name I've been hearing for a couple of weeks. They did give him the big send off in front of the live crowd after the show tonight. So, and also when Nigel did state on the show, hey, that's Velveteen Dream. He's a very busy man this weekend, Royal Rumble weekend. Kind of like a hint.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Thanks for the call and have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's see. Broken Dreams in the chat says, do you think Matt Hardy will return in the Royal Rumble? Good chance. Matt did say that he's basically cleared to return to competition, so. Julio says, who do you think is the big surprise? I don't know. It's a tough one. I know Russell Votes on Twitter said that there's a huge surprise in the works, and it's not Kenny Omega. But I don't know. I mean, the one thing I can think of is maybe The Undertaker, and that's why the dome's got to be closed, because they want complete darkness when he comes out. Because if it's not that, why close the dome? Yeah, I think it would look cool with the dome open, but hey, to each their own. Sergio Gutierrez says Kevin Owens number 30. You still got to think. See, we can come up with all these scenarios of why Truth won't come out number 30, but here's the thing. Go into it with your mindset, unless we learn something before the Rumble of, hey, Truth is going to be number 30. Also, as Raj Neal did say tonight, yes, R-Truth did sing Jake Hager, formerly Jack Swagger's entrance music for tonight's Bellator fight that he did win. Again, another shout out for Bellator fighters. Jack Swagger, or Jake Hager, destroyed his opponent, dominated his opponent tonight. Great showing. He's already got a better record. He started off his first fight better than CM Punk. CM Punk's 0-2. Jake Hager's 1-0. And he wants to fight at least 3 times this year, he said. Matt Vermillion says, any updates on Mia Yim? As far as what? Is there something wrong with her? I haven't heard anything going on with Mia Yim. She's in NXT. They like her down there. Cool. Legend says, could we see Batista? I mean, anything can happen. I know he wanted to come back and work Mania, but he wanted to work Mania against Hunter. Noel Perfect says, who cares about Kenny Omega? I mean, I kind of ran it on Twitter the other day, and it was like, I hate seeing all the people that post videos and news stories of Kenny Omega's status for the Royal Rumble. There is no status. He legally can't appear on the show. Get over it. Get over it. Just reading a couple more things in the chat. If you guys do want to call in, 559-475-8473. 559-475-8473 is the phone number to call here live. Christian Castro says, I just hope beat down Ronda can leave the company. I'm bored and annoyed. Well, she's not going to leave 100% gone. She's still under contract till April 2021. But she's going to take but she's probably going to take a good amount of time off. That's the thing. Julio says, hey, Tim, do you think Ricochet would be in the Royal Rumble? There's a chance. It's a very good chance he could be in the Royal Rumble tomorrow. If you remember last year, there were 2 NXT stars in last year's Royal Rumble. So if they do 2, then we can speculate on 2. I think one's going to be Velveteen Dream. Maybe they do 3. Maybe they do 3. Maybe it's Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream. But as far as who... wait, let me think about something real fast. So Orton was the last male officially announced for the Men's Rumble. I think that puts the number to 20. Let me look really fast. I think that puts the official number to 20 or 21. So there should be, I want to say, 9 spots. Let me go here to pwunlimited.net. Search WWE Royal Rumble, where we do have the full match card listed. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's 20 men listed for the Rumble, which means there's 10 men that could still enter in the Royal Rumble. Marcus Ryan says, how about Toni Storm? Maybe they throw her in there, but she's a champion. Now, I get you're going to say, well, isn't Bobby Lashley going to be in the Rumble? He's the IC champion. Yeah, but she's like a woman's champion, which is considered a world champion kind of deal. So, I don't know. Let's see some other things. King Alexa says, can Sasha turn heel tomorrow and set up for a horsewoman match? No. Her turning heel would not set up a horsewoman match because the other horsewomen would all have to be heels as well. And Shayna, Jessamine, and Marina would all have to turn babyface. There's too much inconsistencies and whatnot for it to work right now. Let's take one final call. Things are kind of slowing down here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
That fucking nigger.
All right, you have been blocked. I apologize for that. Anybody that was offended by that. Christopher Roth says, is the big works planned tomorrow Roman Reigns? I hope not. I haven't heard anything. Last I heard, he's still in Hawaii filming a movie with The Rock. Here's my thing. Now, as somebody that has had multiple family members go through, cancer and leukemia and all that, it's unpredictable. I'll tell you my stories right now. I had a grandmother who was diagnosed with it. 6 weeks later, she passed away from it. That quickly. Unfortunate. I had an aunt that had it. She beat it. Came back a second time. She beat it again. I have a cousin that currently has it right now. It's unpredictable how long it's going to last, if you can beat it, if you can't beat it. My cousin has it right now. I think it's looking like he could beat it, but the doctors did say he's got less than a year possibly. So with all of that considered, it's too hard to say, oh, Roman can be back in 3 months. Roman can be back in 6 months. Roman can be back here. We don't know. Unless we're speaking with his doctor or him and his wife and his family that knows every little bit of treatment he's gotten. Now, him doing this movie with The Rock and being able to be physical in fight scenes is a very, very good sign. Because if he wasn't doing well, he wouldn't be able to be doing physical fight scenes in a movie. So that is a good sign. But also, here's the other thing. If everything is cleared up and he's good to go and he can return, I wouldn't have him return at the Royal Rumble. And here's why. if Roman Reigns comes back, he left in October, November, December, January. That's only 3 months. You know what a lot of fans are going to think? They're going to think, oh my God, Roman Reigns is back in 3 months from having leukemia? No wonder they did this storyline to make him a babyface. It's pro wrestling. Everything in pro wrestling is fake. Now they're going to think that his leukemia is fake, which it's not. It's 100% real, but I know a lot of fans are going to think, oh, if he came back this fast, it had to have been a storyline since the beginning to get him over with the crowd. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it all does go down. I hope it's not Roman, so then we don't get that thought of, well, was it all just a fake leukemia thing, which it's not. It's not. I'm not trying to say that at all. But we'll see. I do see some people in the chat saying, am I going to watch Fighting with My Family? I'll go see it. I'll go see it for sure. I'll review it for you guys too. Bird Guy says, got to keep him out till at least SummerSlam. Maybe not that long. But, I mean, I just don't want him to come back too soon. And not just for the fact of so it doesn't seem like a storyline, but so we know he's 100% good and healthy. We don't want him to come back before he's 100% and get sick again or something and him have to leave again. It's all unfortunate. So, just reading a couple last things in the chat. A lot of people asking who do I think are going to be surprises. It's hard to tell. Like I said, there's 10 slots still open for the Men's Royal Rumble. There's 8. Yeah, no women were added on SmackDown. So there's 8 slots still left for the Women's Royal Rumble. And we'll have to see where it all goes. With that, we'll have to see where it all goes tomorrow when we will be live once again following tomorrow night's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Thank you for joining me here tonight, right here for our NXT Takeover Phoenix review and recap. You can follow us right here on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. For more news, check out our website, pwunlimited.net. And to get early access and exclusive content, head over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited and sign up for as low as $1 a month. Every little bit helps in growing Pro Wrestling Unlimited. We don't make a lot off of YouTube, so every little bit that you guys can support us through the actual Patreon itself as well is going to go right back into PW Unlimited to help us do cool things for you guys as far as cool new content going forward. Again, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow live following Royal Rumble.